He's going to get checked tonight to see if we can get the go-ahead to see if he can start skating.
Same lines as last game?
Start that routine.
You often say that you judge your team by the way they play, not necessarily by the result. How significant is the result tonight, though?
I'm not going to get, I think all games are important. We start overemphasizing game 41, and I think you get lost a little bit. I just don't differentiate. I think every game's important. So I'll just leave it at that.
Can you succinctly say where you think you're at after 41 games at the halfway point of the season?
Where we're at?
Where do you expect to be here? Is it better than you thought? Worse?
I think we've developed an identity of when we are successful, that identity sticks out. I think we've lost ourselves a little bit here in allowing our team to forecheck. We developed some scoring chance. I think Vokun was the difference in the Florida game. But again, it's in the third period when we really ramped it up. Where we have struggled of late is our turnovers and not getting the puck in and going to the strength of our team. But at this point in time, I think the younger players are coming along. There's some really good things with the youth of the team. We'll continue to work at our identity. We've scored more goals this year. We haven't given up as many. Special teams is still something, especially our power play. We're looking for a little bit more consistency. But I like the team. I think we're on the right track. It's just we have lost. We've lost a little hardness of late. Not a lot of games, but of late, especially early on. Our starts have been really good most of the year. Early on, we have kind of felt our way through. That needs to change. And for us to be a hard team, we need to allow ourselves to get into an area to be hard. That's our fortune.
How much of that is just the natural ebbs and flows of the season? And how much of it is the fact that Callie's not out there?
As I said, I'm not going to speak on Kelly. He's an important guy. We all know that. But you have to look by what your team is, what lineup you have. You still have to play the way you feel you can be successful. And you will have some ebbs and flows through it. But the good teams get out of it. I think that's an important point in tonight's game, is how we play. What type of game are we going to play? That's a very important thing for us tonight. And I go to Larry's question, I'm not looking at the result, I'm looking at how we're playing, how we approach this game.
John, you mentioned the youth of the team and the ebbs and flows.
The fact that those things that he has too.
Yeah, the fact that Delzato, you mentioned in the past, has some learning to do. There's a learning curve to being a pro. You have a lot of young kids in the lineup. Where do you see Weiss? I know it's early, Zuccarello, and Stepan in that process.
Where do I see Zuccarello and
Weiss? And
it's still too early to tell. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but we've had injuries. We bring the people up that we feel deserve the opportunity, judged from the Hartford coaches. Where they're at, I don't know. I can't judge Zook in 5 games. I think his best game was his last one. Weiser, he's a guy that we're still trying to figure out what he is and trying to teach him what we think he is. So that's still very early. If you want to talk about young players, it's the Nisimovs, it's the Stepans that I can give you a good judge of where they're going. But the other guys, it wouldn't be fair to really judge them right now. It's still way too early.
You talked about where your team is at. Where's the conference at? I mean, is the conference better than it was a year ago? Tampa Bay's almost an elite team now. Philly's more of the team they were in the playoffs than they were in the regular season.
Well, you look at the
It's going to be harder to.
Oh, it's going to be
rise.
hard. I mean, the second half is always going to be. You have Tampa Bay that's joined in, but then you have Buffalo that right now has struggled a bit. This team here we're playing tonight, you can see them coming. Jay, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the conference. I know it's going to be a dogfight right to the bitter end in both conferences. I think the West, I mean, 1 through 12, there's only, obviously there's not as a discrepancy as far as where it is in the East. But just looking at us, it's going to be a fight. And I'm trying to stress upon our club, and that's why I think tonight's game is important. This is really kind of the beginning of the second half, and we need to reestablish who we are more consistently, especially our starts, because the games are going to be tougher. The second half is going to be, it's a grittier game. Things don't come as easy, and we need to get a jump. We need to get a jump on the mindset of how we have to approach this.
You can be better than you were a year ago and still, by game 75, still be scuffling to get in.
Yeah, there's no question. I don't know where it all forecast, but I just look at, you know, at the end of last year, for us to even have a sniff, what did we go, 7-1-2, I think, our last 10 games. This year, you can't forecast what's going to happen, but I just know our team has to be better than we were the first half, this second half, if we want a chance.